Yeah, it's time to let it blow. Yeah, I'm in slow, and it's dragging me low. I can't live it in my pocket, or then I'll be left alone. Oh, oh, oh. I don't wanna find myself in the misery. I'm lost in the riddle. I just wanna love myself. This time I'm gonna deal with a miracle. Oh, oh, with a miracle. This time I'm gonna deal with a miracle. So, aside and her the door, I can't keep it locked in midnight, 'cause I don't wanna miss a thing. I'm in soul, something is telling me to go. I wanna aim at a target, and it running through my bow. Oh, oh, oh. I don't wanna find myself in the misery. I'm lost in the riddle. I just wanna love myself. This time I'm gonna deal with a miracle. Oh, oh, with a miracle, with a miracle, with a miracle. Oh, oh, with a miracle. This time I'm gonna deal with a miracle. With the miracle. With the miracle, ah, with the miracle, with the miracle, with the miracle. This time I'm gonna deal with the miracle. Ooh, I won't let you go. I'll do anything to deserve you. If I do it all, at least I will have you. I don't wanna find myself in the misery. I'm lost in the riddle. I just wanna love myself. This time I'm gonna deal with a miracle. I don't wanna find myself in the misery. I'm lost in the riddle. I just wanna love myself. This time I'm gonna deal with a miracle. Oh, oh, with a miracle, with a miracle, with a miracle. Oh, with a miracle. This time I'm gonna deal with a miracle. Oh, with a miracle. This time I'm gonna live with a miracle. Oh, with a miracle. This time I'm gonna deal with a miracle. I don't wanna find myself in the misery. I'm lost in the riddle. I just wanna love myself. This time I'm gonna deal with a miracle.
Ain't nobody stopping. Ain't nobody stopping.
It's 7 p.m., July 7th, 2025, and we're able to go live for a very special reason. That's because we're in part of the flood disaster, and we can't go to work. So
we're stuck.
we're going to use this opportunity to let people know what's going on in Texas, right, brother?
Yeah, we're trapped at the top of Round Mountain. I mean, if anyone could send some help, helicopters or maybe some giant steel plates so that we can get over the bridge, that would be, muchly appreciated. Other than that, we're not accepting donations. We've got lots of water and lots of food.
Yeah, but there are people in our direct neighborhood that were severely affected. In fact, maybe 7 people in our neighborhood were killed by this flood. There's like another 11 missing. There's a whole group of us on a hill here outside of Leander that we can't leave the hill because our bridge is gone. It got damaged bad enough that they're not letting us cross it. And so we're directly impacted. At first it was no power, no internet, no water. Everything was out. And then we got a few things back over the last couple days. So the first to come back was the power, thankfully. And then And then yesterday we got the internet back, and then today we got the water back. So we are impacted, but in no way, no shape, the way the people at the bottom of the hill are impacted, because they had a wave of water come rushing through their homes, a big enough wave that it sent a number of the homes traveling throughout the neighborhood. And we have people that rode out their homes and survived. And so there are some crazy stories to be told from this hill and that creek at the bottom of it. And it's not being talked about really like Kerrville is, because Kerrville was quite the disaster. It affected girls' youth camp. And we pray for everybody that's involved in that. But a lot of people don't realize that up in Travis County, Western Travis County, Williamson County, Burnett County, the area that we're in, that we got hit the next day. So it wasn't the same day as Kerrville. That Kerrville was like 3 in the morning on the 3rd. And then our flood happened at 3 in the morning on the 4th. And you're going to see from the stuff that we show you, the impacts in our area are more widespread and damaging than in the Kerrville area, right?
Yeah, so it was the morning of the 5th that we were struck, and the morning of the 4th that Kerrville was hit. So it was
Gotcha.
2 separate dates. They were both around the same time, between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. were both of the floods. I believe the one in Kerrville, there was 33 mobile homes at 3:30, the guy says in the clip, right? And
that is what they said.
so it was crazy. It started raining July 4th morning, maybe a little before that, maybe Thursday night. Friday was, no, it started raining Thursday on our drive back from work. It started to rain, and we noticed it, and it wasn't really called for in the weather forecast very much at all. It was pretty clear. So we were like, wow, okay, yeah, we got some rain. There was chances there might have been. And so we watched it, and then July 4th came, and that day was just, light rains, but it did rain throughout the day. And so it was that night, Friday night going into Saturday morning. I woke up around 5:30, and I was like, this is odd. There's no power. The air conditioners are off, and usually in Texas, you need those air conditioners. And so I went about my day. When I woke up an hour later, I went and, turned the generator on. We've got a welder generator, and, started to deal with my day, make coffee. So there was no power, but so the internet was out at that point. And so we started having coffee. And then the guy that lives here on the property, he came over and said, "You guys have got to see what's happened. You got to get your cameras and come down." And we were like, "What's going on?" And he said, "Oh, you guys got to see what's happened here. I'm not going to be able to go to work today." He wanted to go in on Saturday and work. And we went down and filmed, and the devastation took place. We went live on Facebook, and we took some video. And when we got back, the internet was working again, right? But there was no power. And we were devastated. Then the power came on and the internet went off. And then the power was on and off for the next, I don't know, day and a half. And no water. And then what has it been now? So it's been 3 days. And the internet came on again today. And, we're just thrilled to have the power back, the internet on, so we could do some research. We'd like to get off the mountain and go to work. There will be a rise and grind tomorrow morning. It's the first time in years that I wasn't able to do one, but I've got the stuff. I've did the best that I could to get prepared for sharing the news that you might have missed what's taken place. What's going on other than this deadly, tragical flood that we've seen take place here. Now, to get back into the story, Jason, so it was unheard of. So it went, the water went from, was it 18 or 15 inches?
6 feet. The thing broke at about 22 feet in 30 minutes. So literally a wall of water came rushing down the mountain and filled the whole creek bed. And where it came out, it met another rushing creek. We're going to be going through the geology of this area and the aquifers that are being filled, because there's a whole bunch of things that are breaking. It's so interesting that we got directly affected by this event, and we've got so much experience with the hydraulics around here. And I've lived on the river on the east side. My first video as a flat earther, it's a flat earth river proof, which, so the first flood that I went through on that is what taught me the earth was a plane for sure. And so I became, living on the river, very accustomed to reading the flow charts and understanding the impact of how many inches of rain, how much we would expect to have in river swell. It was part of a planning thing that I had living on the river. And so the area that we're in right now, it's hills. It's strong hill country, and it's totally different than the river that I had in front of me before. And so here we have watersheds, and the watershed goes towards Lake Travis. In our case, we're in Travis County, and really super not far from here, all the water that came down went to a totally different watershed, and it's not going through the Colorado. And it's amazing. You're going to see as we go through these different new radars that are being released, they're showing, they're doing cloud seeding, and they have these new radars that are much more exact. And you're going to see that we are literally in the bullseye of the heaviest amount of rain that took place in Texas. And at the center of their bullseye is where we're at. And we got 20.5 inches of rain, according to them, over the period of the storm that we encountered. And so that all came down in the hills, rushed through, and we've got footage of what's taken place here, and we want to show everybody. It's sort of neat that over the course of the day we've actually seen this story sort of expand, because what we're hearing about now is this guy from a rain seeding company, and they're talking about it. It's out in the open now, and the discussion is going to be about cloud seeding. People are starting to connect the dots with the events that took place. And what we're going to be showing everybody, at first we were wondering how we were going to cover this. Is it going to be conspiratorial, where we're going to be talking about weather weapons and things like that? And it turned out over the course of the day that we know what was taking place now, and that was cloud seeding. And so it can be a weather weapon. It's a weather tool, right? So they can literally make it rain when they want to with these certain tools that they have. And so now it's supposed to be coming into the whole gamut of regulation and who's going to control this. And they're using this this new character. He's being released. He's the fellow something of Peter Thiel. And so we've got so much to go through. We want to show you all some of the local on the ground footage. Everybody's going to be talking about this silver iodide and whether or not it's turning everybody blue, and the harmful effects of it. And so we've got buckets and pails of water out here. We can measure in pails and show you how many inches of rain that we got. We can water test it. We can show you whether or not it's turning things blue. So there's so much disinformation that's going to be released at the same time as this cloud seeding thing takes place. And we're here to try to steer everybody through this the most accurately we can, right?
Yeah, so they've just come out now, this Augustus character that's, he was in the Peter Thiel Fund. So his startup was, funded by Peter Thiel. And he's a 25-year-old Californian that supposedly moved to Fort Worth. And so basically he's been advocating for, making it rain in places that need rain, which, it's a debate. It is a good debate to have. What I have noticed, whenever we try to mess with the weather, we generally make things worse. So windmills drastically change environments around, creating droughts, pressure changes in the jet streams and things like this, like atmospheric rivers have been created, and they dump water in places that we don't want water. And so what we're seeing right now is, over the past few days, I believe we've had a record-breaking amount of over 1,000-year flood levels. Now, when they make these statistics, obviously they haven't been, charting, how many floods they've had and how much it's flooded. But what they can do is grade a level of severity to the modern flood, and then look at the chances of that taking place over the last 20, 50, 100, and in some cases 200 years. Some, astronomical Royal Foundation Freemasonic societies have been keeping data on a lot of things for a long time. And so what we're seeing is that they are admitting that they were cloud seeding. They're not admitting that the cloud seeding could do anything like this. At least they state with the amount of silver iodide. So they're spraying silver iodide and salt into clouds, they say, that are full of water, that are just not releasing the water. And they're saying that it's their, creator given right, quoting Bible scriptures, completely twisting the narrative to suit the agenda. And it's very, very interesting. And we know that there's been some radar images and some data that's put out that said that on the day of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, there were heavy government atmospheric program planes in the area of the Hill Country, Texas.
Got those links.
We just happened to be right in the heart of what could be the most ever rainfall that has ever fallen in this region. Now, obviously, there's creek beds that the water went down, this Y connection down to Lake Travis, so the water does flow that way, but we don't know if anything has ever come anywhere close to this. So to be conspiratorial, you'd have to say that this was a conspiracy, and it's actually not. It's well open and documented. The state of Florida has been saying that they don't want the cloud seeding, the rain-making technology being used in their state, and the conversation is going to be loud now. So we're seeing many agendas that are being put forth here. Hillary Clinton said, we never let a good psyop go to waste. They try to maximize every single tentacle of the octopus. And so what we see here is, it's very likely sacrifice could have taken place on the 4th of July that night. The 4th morning going into the 5th, and then the 3rd morning going into the 4th hit Kerrville, and that was, just a small amount of water compared to what actually fell here in the Hill Country where we are, in the Leander, Travis County. You're going to be getting into all this information. There was a mass, sacrifice, if this was cloud seeding, to get the attention of the public. And not only do they do it to get the attention of the public, they're filling aquifers, they're filling lakes, they're filling dams, power generation for multiple cities. The entire state of Texas is utilizing these rain-making technologies, these systems to feed farmers, to keep the crops watered. The power generation is made through Lake Travis, which was getting low. Now it's up, and we're seeing so many different agendas here, as well as biblically, if the waters are turned off, we can see the same types of situations that Pharaoh had his magicians out trying to copy what Moses and Aaron were doing. So for as far as we can tell, the water might have already been shut off, but these New World Order witchcraft wizards are out here actually still trying to make it rain for the time being.
Yeah, we'll be showing you all these watersheds and how they work here in Texas. I grew up in Wisconsin, and the whole watershed thing is completely different from where I grew up and what I was familiar with to the way it operates in Texas here, because we have so much hard ground that is considered impermeable. All the water that lands on it runs down to the creek beds. There's none of the soil to absorb, like there is in so many of the other states, that we're prone to flash flooding in the Texas Hill Country, because we have, and they're not mountains, but when you get a couple thousand feet of elevation and you have, Texas is huge, and you're going to see some of these numbers, the the billions upon billions of gallons of water that fell in these areas, it all goes rushing down the creek beds. And so we come from a unique position of believing that, knowing that Earth is a stereographic biblical virtual reality, that ask yourself, as we're going through this, everybody, we're talking about for sure hundreds of billions of gallons of water, probably trillions when you start combining the different systems. And that water was all just floating up in the air before it came down and washed everything away. So try to envision how trillions of gallons of water that weigh 8 gallons, 8 pounds per gallon.
A lot.
That's an enormous amount of weight to be floating over our heads.
It's an absolute, just astounding figure to think about just how the entire water cycle takes place, the physics, the dynamics, the mathematical equations, the amount of water that poured just to go down. When we get into the footage and you see the amount of water that flowed through this tiny dry creek bed, and you think, where did that water just come from? The windows basically of a supernatural heaven were opened and directly pounded down all around us. And we were just lucky, due to the fact that we're sitting about 1,000 feet above sea level, that we were safe, and everything, our chickens, our gardens, everything actually made it fine. And it was great. We did finally, about, I don't know, 4 o'clock today, the water was turned back on. So they had fixed the pipes at the bottom of the hill. And I'm just grateful that we're here today to share this information with you. And again, everybody on the other side of the screen, it's on you to do your own research. We're just going to bring forth the stuff that we found interesting, that we put together, and you make up your minds. This happens to be a situation where we're actually on the front lines. We're literally in the heart.
We're literally trapped in the heart of the...
We can't go to work. We can't go to the grocery store. We'll have to walk across the creek bed and take an Uber to the store if we need anything. So this is quite a unique situation for us who've been covering conspiracy theories and psyops and all this stuff. We're live on the ground and able to report, and we're just hoping
from the epicenter. We're going to be and breaking the fact that it's cloud seeding that's being blamed for this.
You'd think that YouTube here would help us get the message out, but unfortunately we're in such a small sandbox that even with, we're bringing you from the ground live footage that we took while the floods were going through, and sadly lives were lost and devastation has taken place. You're not going to see anybody actually get this information. And for anybody that has joined us, welcome to the sandbox. And yeah, I'm looking forward to spending eternity with you guys.
Yeah, but please somehow try to get this message out, because this is a story, a headline that is going to be absolutely national. The cloud seeding is going to be talked about. And so this really does bring it to a neighborhood near you. It hit us. And if you live anywhere near some sort of creek bed, it could hit you too. So they dumped 20 inches of rain overnight, and it flash floods. There are people that by the time they stood up and got to the door, the water is already halfway over the door, and then their house began floating away. Right, so that fast. Let's go ahead and start getting into some of this footage. What do you say, brother?
Yeah, we got lots.
So the first thing I want to bring up is probably your first video, and that is going to be
the morning of the 5th, Saturday.
I'm just going to let this go. Unfortunately, some of this footage that we received is from people that film vertically.
Yes, some social media sites won't allow you to film in the landscape.
I know. So this is Ron and I heading down to check out. We were just told by our landlord that you got to go down, check this out. And so here we go.
We just left our driveway right now. Just take it easy, Jay. I don't know if there's going to be a road chat. I don't know how good the sound is.
As soon as you come around this corner, and then there's the
bottom of the hill here where we live. Yeah, it did rain. I woke up at I don't know, 4:30. There was no power. I wasn't about to go turn the generator on at that time and see if it would work. I waited till like 8. So the water came down through here too?
No, it'll be a little bit further. Just now where all the cars are backing up down here.
All right, we'll have to park behind there, Chad, you think? And get out. There's some water. Water came through here. There's some garbage.
The whole area was flooded that
here.
we're driving through right now.
Yeah, this whole area had a wave go through. So they weren't submerged for a long time, but they had a wave go up probably 10 feet against their homes. Now, these homes didn't get washed away.
There's got to be some serious rescues going on. People are, oh, this is the house with the corn I was saying about. Oh, damn. I don't know where you want to pull over, Jay. Right here? Right here. You can't go no further. Went too far. Oh, they're good.
We'll get them, guys.
Get the power up.
Power guys.
Yeah, you can pull up a little bit further.
They did get the power on.
Damn, this is the house I was talking about with the corn, Chad. His corn's gone. Oh no.
The house is gone.
God,
House is
where's the
gone.
yeah? Where's the damn?
Park here?
Sure.
Park here. Ain't nobody can- Everybody's just been playing.
Damn, man, right in our backyard. The bottom of the hill. Oh. There's the internet line, right? Is that line right there? So,
No, it's not.
luckily we're on satellite. Damn, the whole house, man. I like this house.
Yeah,
This is where our river
done a lot
comes
to
through.
fix it up.
Yeah, you could turn
We
the
got
sound
some
off.
serious work to do here to fix
to play.
all this.
I don't really talk to anybody till we get to the other road.
Yeah.
So you're looking at now where the house that was on the left with the corn, it actually crashed into these houses. And the guy was telling us the next day, I don't know if we'll play that part, but his car actually crashed through the side of the house, and him and his family got in the car and then drove out of the house, and they survived. Can you believe that?
Yes, that was the testimony. It was the crashing of the car into the house that created the hole in the wall that allowed them to get out of the house.
In the car.
And they got into the vehicle and it started and they drove out while it was like submerged mostly.
So this is the starting of the posts that were holding this guardrail moving up to this bridge here. And this is just a tiny dry bed creek. It's not a river. It's
Dry Bed Creek that they built this really upgraded concrete bridge over. It used to be a low water crossing, and they had actually built a really quality bridge, but they were saying that the water was at least 10 feet over the top of this.
Yeah.
And so when you project that across this valley, what happened is there's another Dry Bed Creek that the two come together in a Y right there.
Mhm.
And that flow directed out into this valley down here. This is a subdivision, but a lower end. A lot of the poor people ended up stuck living down near the low water,
It's cheaper land, right? Cheaper spots. A lot of
cheaper spots.
mobile homes. There's a lot of just people like they're not rich. You got tires. You can see a vehicle here,
Yeah.
all mangled. There's a lot of vehicles that were really mangled.
There was multiple vehicles out there.
You might want to play a little of the sound here. This is
Homes washed away.
I don't know if I should be walking on any of this. Damn.
Pavement
Like
washed
a big
away.
crack. Here's part of the road just gone. There it goes. Gentlemen. Damn. A lot of work. There's that street sign.
So this over here
The
is
bridge is open.
the other creek. So the,
people
the
are able- that's
2Y
good. We're gonna be
right
able to
here
get
at this
to town.
situation.
Get supplies.
and they said that it
This
was
bridge held up pretty good. It looked like
10 feet over this bridge as well. So this whole corner here was submerged all the way across.
Yeah. A quarter mile, half a mile distance of rushing water that was 20 feet above where it is here. This was
Yeah.
when it receded. So when this all took place, and this took place between 3 and 6 in the morning. The main was just
Yeah, so it just
insane.
picked up the homes and washed them right across. And then we go down into the neighborhood on the other side, and that's where a whole bunch of devastation is. So we'll be going through it. I think right now it stands at 11 people from our neighborhood are confirmed dead, and 17 people
Missing.
are considered missing.
Yeah, I mean, when I was walking through this, filming it, I was asking people if everyone's all right, and you can't get into this, all these trees and everything. Like, people they could be in there. They could be like not alive. They're unalived for sure. And that was what was hard for me. You want to jump over there and start rifling through stuff. When we went up this road here on the right, Jason was right behind me. He's going to join the conversation soon. I was wondering, is everybody okay in these houses? And we started to hear that a lot of the people actually were able to get out, and because they only had to go like a quarter of a mile behind this situation here. The waters up this road right here. You could see this is basically where the construction's this is like a gravel and landscape materials store. So all of what you're seeing from our bridge, this was all flooded out about 15 feet up into the sky here. You could play the sound a bit more if you want to see.
Yeah, the whole thing got covered. So that corner house amazingly survived, but you're going to see structure after structure that didn't. On the other side of this corner here, there was a home that came off its footings, and that family rode it out for like a half a mile down to the end of this cul-de-sac, and they survived.
Yeah, they survived. A lot of people survived. The miracle, the intro song was about miracle because there was miracles. The fact that the bridge that we crossed to get over here held was an absolute miracle. The amount of power and it's damaged. It's badly damaged. We're going to show everybody what took place. For 20 inches to come down in this spot where we're walking through here, and the surrounding areas, it's just unheard of. I don't think it's ever happened before.
No, that's pretty special.
You can see you can turn the sound on.
Just cars got washed around, and like the bark was removed from trees when it was in the high velocity areas.
Power lines and stuff. The bridge is down. We're hoping that everybody's all right. There's a lot of houses gone.
Group of cows that their pen was all gone, and they were out.
Apparently, we got 6 inches just overnight.
Yeah, last night.
And just to the west of us got 12.
And that's what came down the river. It doesn't look like there's anybody I can see so far.
So
I was worried, I mean, what do we do? Do we
there's the cows.
Do we go into these houses? Do we start, hey, is everyone okay? But so the search and rescue team, they've already had gone through.
They have to videotape. Not a fun stream. Be a car up in here wrecked.
This just got mangled. And these people were doing the best they can do, living life the way, that we're humble people in this area.
Everybody's all right?
Steiner Ranch.
Yeah, we live just up here on the top of the hill.
So you can see the hill in the background.
Cows are all right. Everybody's all right.
We live on the top of what's behind us. That's like that. This is what the hill country is. basically.
So you can see that the water came up this high. There was stuff rushing against the house that damaged it up at these heights. So that's a good 10 feet all the way across here.
Yeah, we live just up here on the top of the hill. Cows are all right. Everybody's all right. They were all huddled together. Yeah, it's still going, huh? So all this was just ripping water. Oh, shit. A little bit of vehicles wrecked. That house is wrecked. It goes pretty far. I guess all the way down this creek. What's the name of this creek again?
This goes all the way to Lake Travis.
Sandy Creek?
No, it's
yeah, the water must have been
Birmingham.
6-8 feet. Look at this.
Sandy Creek.
Look at these vehicles.
So this was not in the forecast, everybody.
Anybody's not missing, except for that one house on the corner there.
Light rain.
He had the corn growing. I was watching.
I watch Weather Underground because I've seen it be the most accurate with its predictions, you know, and it'll tell you half an inch of rain, 3/4 of an inch of rain. And we were watching the forecast, and we never got a forecast for more than a half of an inch of rain. And then we woke up to the flood. All right, so it was absolutely
the end of it here.
unpredicted,
really bad
completely.
Complete
I
shock.
want to go up closer to the edge.
Nobody was warned, really. We started
Look
getting
up the river here.
notifications.
Damn, that's almost like a brand new truck.
Yeah, what time did we start getting notifications?
So 12:30 at night, I screen recorded all the notifications the next day. 12:30, 2:30, 4:30, 7:30, 9:30, 11:30. We've got notifications like that. But what we really needed was these people needed like to know before they went to bed that night. We're not going to get into too much of that talk right now. We're just showing you what took place. Here's more damage, more vehicles in the trees, just gone. And you got to wonder what kind of insurance these people have.
Yeah, so those alerts that you get when you have a flash flood warning and it comes up with a beep, beep, you know, the emergency alert. I don't set my phone to silent overnight, and there was no alerts that woke me up to this whatsoever. I was completely oblivious to it having even rained when I got up in the morning.
Yeah, we had no idea. We had no idea. We just thought the power was out. Maybe that.
This is the end of the road, right? Yeah. It's like a bottleneck here. It looks like everything might have got pinched up in this area.
Yeah, there's this trailer, this truck is pretty fucked up too. I don't know who lives out here, but
So that's an RV trailer that just had the trailer ripped off of it.
Just up the top of the hill.
on this hill here. Yeah. We are down
It just looks like just super devastating.
My buddy and his parents live out Big Sandy. I wanted to go see how they were doing, make sure they were all right.
Damn.
Yeah, we're on Big Sandy at the
Top of the hill.
A lot of damage, man. A lot of fucking damage. I've lived out here my whole life, and I ain't never seen.
No, this is the largest you've ever seen.
Yeah, this is the most damage I've seen. Like I've seen some floods for sure, but nothing of this damage.
No. Yeah, we had the few floods. Like with Harvey, and then you had that.
It's hard to believe. I mean, it was
Flood on the river.
Was it that hard?
So can we get a pause?
So the lady.
It's interesting. Someone brings up the question: do you think these weather guys like Ryan Hall know what is? Oh, he took it down. Know what is going to happen? That's a great question. Ryan Hall was nowhere to be found at all. And the weird thing is they said these were remnants from a hurricane, and he started his weather warning watch channel because he wanted to save lives due to hurricanes. We didn't hear from Ryan Hall until this afternoon, and he said that he warned everybody in videos, but he never went live. There were no, it was agenda free TV was the one on YouTube that was actually covering this. When we went to bed, he was live covering the so they had everybody's attention was on the Mystic Camp in Kerrville, the loss of lives, which we had said would look like a sacrifice took place. In the same manner,
they parked a storm in an area there that dropped 20 inches of rain that night, the night before this happened. We had the whole day. Everybody was Kerrville, Kerrville, Kerrville. And boom, we got hit the next morning. And so after that, nobody, this is why Jason called it the secret zone here, because nobody's been bringing it up. They've only been talking about Kerr County and Kerrville. You can see here, this is some of the devastating damage here to the bridge. You can see how it's shifted it. Go ahead. Yeah, I'll let you play it.
Yeah, this right here, that's supposed to be lined up. So this whole bridge slid this way, and then there's cavities underneath here where all the fill's washed out that supports at each end. So unfortunately, we are stuck right now. We are trapped in the neighborhood.
We might have found another way out you found on Google. We'll have to see. We'll be checking tomorrow afternoon. We'll be seeing if there's a way out, or they can come up with a way to get us on and off of here safely.
Yeah, the Army Corps of Engineers are supposed to
They were probably there
come
today.
up with some sort of a solution.
Yeah, they're going to probably have to rebuild the bridge, though, sadly, it looks like. I don't know if they can.
Yeah, so this is just dry creek beds normally, everybody, and flowing like major rapid rivers. And this is after the rain stops, so this is just the seepage coming down the hills still, creating this type of flow.
It's insane. The
So
creek bed's not that far. It doesn't go that far behind us. We'll get into that. I don't know if we've got. Are we going to show the next update, or are we going to save that for later? Go to a song break. What is your plans here?
you tell me.
Well, I guess so. Here, yeah, you can see I've gone down the riverbank. I guess the creek bed. And you can see if you hit play, turn the sound off. Yeah, you can see so all the rock that we're seeing here, this is all the old creek bridge that was behind this one. And it all washed out from underneath the bridge. Like this whole area here, this is all new.
It's
and
new. Yeah,
they're
totally
gonna have,
different.
They need some skid steers, backhoes, bulldozers. They're gonna have to come in with some big equipment, and they're gonna have to move the rock back. They're gonna have to fix this. I go over to the other side. You can see the damage too.
Yeah, so these were where all the guardrail posts were in, all just washed out. And this is like a cement that they had it in. It looked like it was built.
It held
well.
up. It held up. You know, either
Sorta.
that or an angel stood there and held this bridge in place, because I mean there was a mighty amount of power that was just barreling down upon this bridge. And a lot of people were smart. They got out, they went to the store here while this was taking place. Remember, this was just like the morning of. It happened 3 to 6 in the morning, and this was 8:30, 9 o'clock here that we were going through here. And as you can see, as I come on the backside of this, and on the other thing I wasn't too excited about was I knew that there sometimes remains. And I was trying to be extra careful not to film anything like that. But I did want to make sure that I documented the shape of the bridge, the situation that we went through. It's going to be amazing for us to show how quick we're able to bounce back. We'll be doing updates and showing people. And again, we're not taking any donations. We don't agree with any of that type of systems. I don't know about the people down here that live at the bottom of the road. I know that they are going to be taken care of. FEMA did not show up. HEB did not show up. The second video that we're going to show, I guess we'll go to that before we do a song break, was a church that's just up the road, a Sandy Creek Church. They're the ones who brought water and, cookies and crackers and chips and just basically munchy food for anybody that could be, starving or going through this trauma, it's amazing that you would expect FEMA, you'd expect there to be military people here with cooking food. A lot of these people around us that you're not seeing, they've lost their homes. There's people wandering around us. We didn't show the whole clip. We will upload the unedited full clip to the Awake Souls channel. People were just walking around. I think they were all just stunned. I don't know if they were all tourists, right, Jay? I don't know. You never know in these situations. Like if we lost our place, what would we do? We wouldn't have anything to do. Here I go up and you can see this side of the bridge is all hollowed out under here. Shifted it about 12 inches here on both sides. The whole bridge shifted, but the piers held up, and all the bark, these trees just got mangled. I've never experienced anything like this in my entire
There's the
life.
shift right there.
I don't think a tornado could have done this, you know. And you said before, like when we went through Harvey on the river, the water slowly rose. It's
Yeah.
you could
Totally different style of flood. That flash flood and slow
a wall.
inundation flood. Two different animals completely.
A wall of, this is the old road that you can see. You'll be able to see it better in the second video if you bring that up, morning of the 6th, or update of the 6th, it might be said, called. And we documented it, and we'll continue, like I said, to share with people what's taken place. We met, there was a cop here. Now nobody's allowed, the next day here, no one's allowed to drive on the road. They're blaming viewers that tuned into Fox, but while Fox was doing their coverage, the bridge was already shut down. We don't need the sound. This is just us leaving from our property. I don't think you don't need to play.
No,
You could play
it's
it,
not.
but it's not doing what you want.
It's not giving me anything.
There you go. Now bear with us, everybody.
Yep, got it.
This is just to show people how close the disaster was to us. Like I said, we'll upload these videos unedited to YouTube for people to see. So I'm back here now. Here we are, Jason and I walking back in. This was yesterday, right? And the bridge has been shut down now. They had a guy parked there. I don't know if we didn't check it out today. We've been busy preparing for the streams.
Yeah, so that's our cage right there. That's what's trapping us. And hopefully they come up with a solution pretty quick.
With some steel plates that span the distance over the cavity. So the water's a little bit lower, but it kept raining. So after the incident took place, the flood, it rained for another solid. It just stopped raining today, like around 11
we had
o'clock.
waves of heavy rain where we started collecting pails of water, and it only took like 20 minutes to fill a 5-gallon pail. It was insane.
A huge garbage pail can, like
Yeah.
bin full of water, just because we didn't have water and we need to do dishes, and you need to have water to survive. You can see the water is a lot lower, but it's still, again, this is the next day. It is still rushing water, and this isn't a river. This is a creek bed where just you can see the hills around us. They all flow down to this area, and it was still just pumping out water. A lot less. And hopefully tomorrow when we go down there to see if we can go to work, we'll see no more water flowing. Unless it starts to rain again, it might.
It's been insane.
Go back a clip. You can see
Just
the lines. You can see how far the road and the bridge had shifted there. If you look at the yellow lines, it's just I think you went, yeah, you'll be able to pause it here, right there. Oh, just about had it. I don't know if you can use the arrow, left, right arrows to go frame there.
There we go.
So there you can see the distance that the road the bridge shifted. Right there is a good piece of evidence for it. Everything was covered. Couldn't see that the first day as far as I could tell.
Yeah.
We didn't go right down this update video. We just another video to show the destruction. Just mangled can't believe the pavement just moved like carpet. I'd never seen anything like that. The whole road just gone. Those are chunks of concrete from that side of the road. We do have a website we'll be getting into that you can click on the area and it'll tell you if the crossing's open or not. This is where we met the cop. He didn't know about that website. What was that site called? LXA?
ATX flood something.
Yeah, atxfloods.com. So these two guys, this one guy didn't want to be on camera and the cop didn't really want to be on camera. But they said that it was the church that was handing out water. And you had asked them how do we
what
get?
resources they have to let us know when we'll be able to get out. And
He said when
he
we're
didn't
not
know.
here, right?
Yeah, he said when we're not here. So there's a conversation there. Really not too important.
Yeah, they didn't really say much. You can see the water is lower here. I'm showing the distance of the actual devastation all the way across there, all the way across here.
We come back,
And then
and you do go in and put the camera into the cavity of the bridge. That is our main issue here. So now you can see that the flow has gotten down to the point where you can actually see
that's the old bridge
yeah,
right there. That used
which was just a low water crossing.
That's where we're going to hopefully be allowed to drive across after the army comes in. But what's crazy? There's a bunch of other spots on more major roads that are obviously have precedent over this spot. But I mean, we got
quite a few homes in this neighborhood, quite a few trapped families.
Mm-hmm. It's absolutely true. So now we're going over to the other side. There's the cavity and hole. All of that is washed out from underneath.
So this is where the bridge slid to the side. And then all of this inside here, that's not supposed to be like a sloped bank right there. That was supposed to be
concrete
encased in a wall and supporting the road that's above it. So the road's just sort of hanging over to the bridge right now. And that's why they're not letting us get out.
You can't drive on it safely.
Yeah.
We did drive over it a few times, but after I saw it, I was like, oh, damn, I'm going to go a little closer. I was thinking, I might not want to go over that spot again. The worst thing you can do in a traumatic, tragic situation like that is make things worse for yourself, attitude-wise, and, physically. It was crazy because not only that, but the only means that we had to eat was we were preparing on smoking pulled pork and some ribs. And I fired up the smoker after we went home from this, and it caught on fire. And I had to deconstruct the entire smoker and put it back together. You can see this is the damage. So underneath the road there's nothing holding up the pavement except for very likely a few pieces of rebar that are in there, the skeleton structure of the asphalt.
That's just hollow
in there. And I ended up deconstructing the smoker yesterday, and Jason and I talked at how there's ways to ride out certain tragic situations, and the worst thing I was saying to him is that you can make things worse. You can overdo things, and then you can underdo things. You can become despondent and just lethargic and not do anything. So you have to find the middle ground. So I deconstructed the smoker and cleaned it all out and put it all back together. And it ended up being, some of the best smoked food I've ever made in my entire life. We were so lucky that we had monkfish the day of, which is like the poor man's lobster. It's delicious if you've never had monkfish. You sear the sides, and then you put it in an oven for, 10 minutes at 400. And I covered it with butter and garlic, and it was absolutely phenomenal. We made some fish cakes. And then we had baby back ribs with blue cheese. We had smoked brie and pecan crackers. I mean, it's
what a flood it's been, right?
Yeah, it's so interesting. We did all this. I did all this cooking and cleaning. We had no water, right? No internet. And it's just we did have some spotty cell service. It's not the best out here in the hill country. And luckily, about a year ago, we actually were able to get. We didn't really get any service here, but all of a sudden, we did start to get service. So it's interesting how all this went down, and I'm grateful. I've been praising the Creator's name throughout the whole thing. You got to be very careful when you're tested. This is a good lesson for anyone that's tuning in here. What attitude are you gonna carry with you, or what ways are you gonna? So the most important things to remember when going through these situations is water, right, and food. That's first, and then cleanliness. How are you able to clean? We were just able to shower, but we were lucky enough on the 5th, the Saturday, we were able to get out. We went to the gym. We were able to get a good workout in, a hot tub. Like, I mean, what a way to go through a tragic situation. And unfortunately, the next day we were trapped. We've been trapped since Sunday. It's only Monday. And I do feel that they're going to have a way out, at least by Wednesday. And you did find a back road where, you know, maybe with a grinder, and if the ground's dry enough, we'll be able to get through. But it's another creek bed that we'll have to cross. And there's a good chance, like you said, that it could be just trees and houses and cars all through that spot too.
Crazy days.
But it's amazing what you can go through as a human, and how it can add character to you, and how you can learn from these situations. And
let's take a break here. Then when we come back, we'll go through some of the tabs that we have.
Yeah.
We're going to be showing some of the radars from how this all went down, and plus some of the other clips people have from what was taking place in this area. So we're not going to be focused on the Kerrville area. That's gotten lots of attention. We're going to be focusing on the northern storm that was the next day, the day after, the one that filled the Lake Travis water basin.
Whisper softly to me, wanna be the air breathe, wanna be everything. Write my name on your skin, like a wave of pulling, like a wave of pulling. Even still, I hear you call. Close to the flame, stay warm. Swallowing your pride, swallow down your life. Lights passing, stay by my side. Lights passing, you keep me alive. Lights passing, stay by my side. Lights passing, you keep I keep hold of everything. I keep hold of everything. I keep hold of broken things. Lights passing, by my side. Lights passing, you keep me alive. Lights passing, by my side. Lights passing, you keep me
And we are back. And just want to show people that aren't from Texas what a flash flood is all about. So it's the inches per hour It really makes flash floods a thing. So you can get 12 inches of rain if you get it over 12 days, and it's not going to come flying down through the mountains and wash away people's homes. But when you get the inches per hour fast enough, when it rushes down to the low points, you get things like this. It will come into a creek bed, and it'll come through as a wall of water. Now, we've had, by us, a wall of water come down the hill that was like 25 feet high. That's the reason why there's a lot of dead people in our neighborhood and missing people and destroyed homes. This right here is on the Guadalupe, and you can see that might have maybe 5 feet of head that it's raising as it's coming through here. So you could add another 20 feet of water, then you understand how serious it is, because it comes running down through the valleys.
It's a bit loud.
Yeah.
It's a bit hot, but it shows the people how devastating it is.
Yeah, and it's got all this debris that it's pushing at the same time.
And that was nothing like what took place in our area. It's not even close. I wish we had some footage of that, but maybe not. It might have been a little bit terrifying.
Yeah. So here we've got some radar to look at. Now, just pointing out that we're right about here in this graphic. Here's Kerrville. That's out here, and so let's go ahead and give this a play. Storms came through out past Fredericksburg. Then all of a sudden we have this wave that pops off here in the Austin area, gets to this corner and stops. Then it expands, and it moves up north. This is our area now. And then it just sits there. It goes up and fills the top area where we're at here. Like, we're used to watching radar signatures, and this right here, it's pretty unusual to have a storm come into an area like this, pause, build, grow in this area, get much larger, much more intense,
So
fill in from the top side down, and then head down again and sit there.
yeah, so if you take it a little slower, so what we want to show people is this is literally, we were in the center, the epicenter, the direct center. So you went a little too far.
Okay.
Back. You're going the wrong way.
Oh, you want to go back farther?
Yeah, I want to show people how this took place here. So here, there's not much going on. There's a little bit of rain. There's nothing. Okay, there's nothing going on here. Now you can slowly go forward and people can see that just out of nowhere, and then the colors are the amount of waterfall, and it actually goes black on many of the programs because once it goes beyond 15 inches, it's not measurable anymore. So
Their scales don't go past 15 inches.
So we're in the direct center of where that red blob is.
Yeah, like right in this area here.
You could just watch
And
see
so
where it's going
it
black.
goes over. No, it just sits and spins. Literally just sits and spins right there. And then all the top part of this area, all that water is running down towards us.
See how it just stays there? Just blasted and dumped. And I've never
Yep.
seen anything quite like that. Kind of like Harvey, kind of like a hurricane, right?
Yeah. We'll save this one for later.
It's for the next section.
Here's some action from the village. Different area. The power just
A catastrophic flood event is unfolding right now in central Texas. Overnight, relentless rain dumped up to 12 inches across the hill country, sending the Guadalupe River surging past record levels,
So
even
this is
higher
the
than the
area that
infamous
hit
1987 flood. Homes
got
have
a
been
lot less
swallowed,
rain than
roads
we did.
washed out, entire cabins at summer camps were swept away in the middle of the night. At least 13 people are confirmed dead, and over 20 children from camps like Camp Mystic are still missing. Emergency crews are scrambling to reach survivors as helicopters and rescue boats navigate dangerous, debris-filled waters. Thousands have been evacuated from Kerrville, Comfort, and the surrounding.
That's a little bit more Kerrville. Here's the type of effect that it had here in Austin.
What the hell? 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 What the
So
hell?
the infrastructure in
What the
Austin held up really good. To people in Austin, they don't even know that there's people stuck out on the hill in Leander right now,
Because all they've heard about is Kerrville.
because all they've heard is about Kerrville. All right, so
On a scale from 1
There
to
are
10, my
some-
friend, you're fucked.
Why would somebody try to
In lack
drive
of
through
other
that?
words, I'd say you're
Never
fucked.
do that.
I'm playing this because this wasn't a fatality. Somebody just lost their car and they're all right, but don't drive through deep water
So
like
stupid,
this.
especially if
Everybody,
it's moving too. Like, I mean,
don't drive through the deep water. It just washes your car off the road, and then where are you going? Right?
nowhere.
Yeah, so this has been Texas 4th of July weekend.
So, one thing that we haven't been talking about is that everybody was forecasting some type of big event, right? For this, we were all talking about: is it going to be? Are they going to, blow up a part of New York? Are they going to attack? Where were the other places? Washington D.C. was one, and no, it ended up being our area, the hill country of Texas.
Texas.
This is where the actual attack took place. Now, it's they do things in such a way they could argue that this was just natural, and that. So another thing, we're going to get into more of the other side of the aspect, is that so the Doge cuts, they've laid off a bunch of the weather forecast crews, and they're relying on AI and again Ryan Hall, and so most people were on holidays. They were vacationing. They've all, luckily, hopefully, a lot of people too in these areas also went back to where they came from. Most people here in Texas they've migrated here.
So here's a radar
Look at
loop
that just looks so crazy.
that shows the way it popped off, and yeah, we're gonna be showing everybody where the mega
That's
dump
us.
right there was. That was us. It's crazy radar right there. So this is Lake Travis. This is where all the water that went past our house right here. This guy is driving around in it right now. And that is a mess. That is a disaster. Everybody's docks got smashed. There's waterfalls running into the lake. Too much water, too fast. So with cloud seeding being the reason that's coming up now, you got to ask yourself, why go for 20 inches of rain in a day, right? That's too much. You're going to hurt people. So this is the type of stuff where people are saying we didn't get the warnings. We're firsthand testimony that we didn't get the alerts. Woke up in the morning.
You check the weather. You check the weather every day. Like, is it going to be sunny out? Is it going to be 105? Right? Is it going to rain? We check. We knew that there was some light rains possible. Light rains.
The forecast that we received on Wednesday from the National Weather Service predicted 3 to 6 inches of rain in the Concho Valley and 4 to 8 inches of rain in the hill country. We worked with our own meteorologists to fine-tune that weather statement, and as many of you know, and many of you in broadcast journalism and meteorology, you can go back and look at your own forecast, and the amount of rain that fell in this specific location was never in any of those forecasts.
This rain event sat on top of that and dumped more rain than what was forecasted on both of those forks. When we got the report, it was about 7 feet or so on the South Fork, and within a matter of minutes it was up to 29 feet, and all of that converged at the Guadalupe, and that's where we saw those very quick rise in flood.
But listen, everybody got the forecast from the National Weather Service, right? You all got it. You're all in media. You got that forecast. It did not predict the amount of rain that we saw. Forecast.
Not even close. We had maybe like a half inch that we were thinking could come overnight. Yeah. So here's how a big volume of water can move things around.
Oh my God.
Huge buildings just washing around.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
We have people in our neighborhood. This is not far from here.
Oh God.
Our bridge didn't make it.
I want the 107 bridge.
Sure, people have seen quite a bit of these scenes already. This was way too much water.
Yeah, you know, the Great Tribulation. Man is having a lot to do with it there. You play with the weather. You think you can start, making it rain where you want and causing earthquakes where you want and tsunamis where you want and hurricanes where you want. And, it's going to punch back. This is just unfortunately going to get worse and worse. And it was all prophesied, thousands of years ago. And here we are. This one's pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah, you can actually see
someone in there with a flashlight.
People in there with a flashlight. So that type of house surfing is what a few people in our neighborhood did. They were able to ride it out.
That could have been them. That's what the house looked like, to be honest, Jason.
I think this footage
Is this
might
all
be from the
Kerrville?
Kerrville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just horrible.
What do we got here?
Some footage you
Oh,
took?
this is some of the videos I took, but you've pretty much shown our area pretty well. So I can go to some of our X tabs, and
Yeah, we'll do another break in a minute.
yeah, and so this is from our neighborhood that's being posted up here on X. This is our bridge here, and then there's the house that's missing right there. So it is starting to get some coverage, but everybody's focus is on Kerrville. I think there was an interesting message here. Let's play this.
This is the Fox coverage, right?
Fox 7 Austin's Katie Pratt is joining us live with an update. Katie.
Hey guys, I'm in Leander, technically at the Travis County portion. We're along the big Sandy Creek where there's a ton of damage. So we're just going to kind of walk you through and show you all of it. So right here you can see all of these trees piled up. So imagine that's where the water line was at one point. And this whole entire road was actually blocked off with debris. So this is a much better picture that we're giving you right now of all the damage. There's the guardrail on this side of the road, if you'll show them, Noel. That's all twisted up. There's the stop sign in the ditch that's crumbled up. And then if you look down at the ground, you can see that the concrete of this bridge is uprooted. They're telling me that it's actually shifted 8 inches. If you look even further this way, it's just crumbled up. And we come over here, and I mean, just the same thing. We got a big pothole right here where the water is already moving and rushing, coming through here. We've been talking with people all day, and their homes have actually surfed through the neighborhood. So they went from one side, we were looking at their back porch where the home used to be, and it surfed all the way across the road and over there. Over there, you can see a car. It's crumbled up. I couldn't even tell what it was. I honestly thought that maybe it was a little camper or something. And we've got poles down. We've got homes that aren't where they're supposed to be. One woman said they've been trying to put up temporary fencing for her livestock. This entire road has been blocked off all day. We've seen people parking up and down on both sides of the street just trying to bring water and food to their loved ones and their family because no one can get to this neighborhood. You can see the stream is already picking up with the rain that's coming in right now. One woman I was talking to earlier, she was saying, you know, thank goodness it's so sunny. We can actually start getting some recovery done. And then
so this was after we filmed, and like I said, it just kept pounding down of rain. As you can see, it's pounding down rain, and now they've got the road shut off.
Yep. So that was our Fox News coverage. This is just a crazy video here, everybody. School bus driver in the neighborhood here with a student on board, tried going through deep water, and they washed down the creek. No, they both survived, but I guess the video is not going to play here. Let's go to where he goes to cross this creek here.
I don't know why people even try that.
Watch this. So he comes around here. He thought, oh, it's a big school bus, lots of ground clearance, right? And thinks about it for a second or two and goes for it. And that's as far as he got. And now the bus gets washed off the road. And it floats down this rushing creek backwards for like the next 3 minutes or so. Like totally floats backwards. This is a bad situation to be in. Don't put yourself in that type of bad situation. Don't be trying to go through any.
They were rescued.
Deep, low water crossings like that.
One student aboard.
Bad choice. All right, so here's Here's a radar thing that's showing
That's us.
our area. And so with Georgetown and Round Rock here, we're right here. Come on, cursor.
And there's a reason why it's white like that, because it's over 15 inches. It doesn't even register anymore, right?
Yeah, well, this one says 10 to 15 inches in this area, but we've got more. This is a guy that covered our neighborhood. He had an interview with a guy whose house floated, and this is the streets in our neighborhood here. This Ron Scott in his video that we went through earlier. So here's rainfall early this morning northwest of Austin around Leander and Burnett was a once in a 1,000-year rainfall event according to NOAA estimates. Few areas up to 15 inches of rain fell in a little over 6 hours. All right, so 15 in 6 hours. And once again, we are literally in this spot right here. All right, so the pink goes up to the 15-inch mark, and then when it goes to the white and this other, it actually goes transparent again. We'll show you on some other images. That's where it's over the 15 inches. So the occurrence of this, yeah, once in 1,000 years, they're saying this type of rain takes place. It's pretty rare. Here's a NWS radar, and this is us right out here. So we saw that bounce around in the other radars.
Next day. This was the next day.
This was the next day.
It still continued to go, like we said. It just stopped today, finally, Monday.
Mm-hmm. So here's of at least 10 to 15 inches of rain with a storm cluster stalled over the area. So you can see here you've got the pink, purple, and then the transparent. And we're right here in the transparent. So this is what's showing up on Google Images now for our neighborhood. And in our next section is where we start getting into...
We're going to take a break, right?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a break. And then we'll start getting into the...
Rainmaker.
Rainmaker.
Focused in on time, another wasted line. You seal it away, but it still won't die. Try outlasting bouts, reminisce about pain that fills your world again. Out, you see, you came running back to me, but she still had eyes. Forgotten ones felt tied, something else has died. Patiently you were the pain. Blinding eyes can't see. Beside the pit holds me. You came to me, no words to give. Set fear with the others. Face with your lies. Concealed by another. But you forgot you just why. Head on sideways. So lost, so lost, so lost, so lost. It was never mine to change. So lost, so lost, so lost, so lost, so. Watch your life, a faceless carousel, once crawling. But you know, you'll never come for me. If you try, I'd ask you why you wrote, but never called again. See it now, the faces show. Looking back just to change how you saw it.
Yeah, last section, I guess. And we're going to start it off with a video that this really looks like AI to me. A couple of things. If you look closely at the flag on his shirt, a couple of things stand out. But this guy is made up to be like the ultimate Freemason here, right? So he's got his cobblist beanie cap on. He's got his orange backpack. It's got the American flag to be a patriot, and then a whole bunch of demonic tattoos all over the place. So it's still an interesting video because there's still a message being made and put out by it that it's the legitimate question that we need to talk about, right? That is there weather weapons? Is there some sort of attack taking place? So let's check out what their propagandists are loading us up with right now. Where's the audio for it? Did the audio not come through?
It should have. Did you record it?
Yeah, this was the video that I recorded.
I wonder if you got the tab open still.
Where was that? I was on Godlike. I don't have that open.
I guess move on. He was just suggesting that it was a sacrifice. That was a directed attack on the camp, Mystic Camp.
Oh, you know what? That might have came through the internal audio and I can't hear it.
Oh, nobody could hear it.
Nobody can hear it?
No.
Let me try one setting here quick.
No, it's fine. You don't have it. You didn't get the audio.
No?
No. Which is it? Which video? Do you have it here? Not that one. Where's the do you have the actual video in OBS? If it's not in OBS, you didn't get it. Let's move on. It's fine. You didn't hit the right settings on your. What did you have? Command Shift 5 it?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's okay. We can move on. It's not a big deal.
We'll scrub that one and we'll move on to this topic right here. So there's a couple names that you're all going to have to remember. And that is CEO Augustus Dorico and the company Rainmakers. So we've got a post here that Ron shared. Did Rainmakers July 2nd cloud seeding in Cairns County play a role in the deadly July 4th deluge? CEO Augustus Dorico joins Amuse's Live X Space to set the record straight. And so we were able to get there and actually listen to this guy, right?
Yeah. It was an hour and a half or an hour and 40 minutes of him, doing his best to say that, the creator gave him the ability to make the rain, and it's basically his duty to do that. And if he doesn't, he feels that he's not a good steward of Earth. It was insane. He's 25-year-old guy. He's
on a camel in a desert. He's the rainmaker.
Smoking, right? Blowing out some smoke.
So I had this queued up before, but it jumped. I want to go back to where this guy was posting stuff just before this event. So this is all local stuff that will come back through. And so I want to show everybody, this is you got the Peter Thiel. Is that who that is?
That was Peter Thiel. That's correct. He's the guy who funded Augustus's startup to create this company to cloud seed or, rain make.
So if we go back here, we're almost there. We got to watch this. The first creepy thing came out.
This was the last day they did here. You're the second now.
I know. I want to show people this one right here.
There's Peter Thiel.
So when you realize that nothing can stop what's coming.
Wow. Already.
All right. Do you
play the sound, please? Is there sound there? And it's crashing over top of power lines.
When you realize that nothing can stop what's coming. So this symbology was put out June 29th. And then we go back here and we get this point of view, you're a rainmaker. So they have somebody up in Cessna flying through the clouds and
making the
you get to be a rainmaker, right? There's sort of a junk post.
Yeah, that guy was saying that the rain's good, make rain, it's going to make more babies because people like to stay home during the rain and make babies.
Yeah. Now, check this. Happy Independence Day from the Rainmakers. This was posted July 4th. Let's check this out.
Up to Magellan. I mean, kids, Magellan's a
little
lot
bit into
cooler than Justin Bieber. He's
there you
go. Instead of looking up to Thomas Jefferson or looking up to Nikola Tesla or looking up to Magellan.
So he's doing a commercial for his company with drones, and then here's the drones that are supposed to be spraying the clouds.
It said Elijah.
It did say Elijah on it.
That's will. That's striving. That's being a trill.
Because Elijah is the one that stopped the rain for 3.5 years, right?
That's correct.
Blazer and
going against them.
Going into space, mathematics, quantum mechanics, the secrets of the universe. It's all there. Life is fiery with its beauty.
Elijah.
It's incredible detail. Tuning into it. Unlock your human potential. Defeat the globalists who want to shutter your mind. Your doorways to perception.
Does this make you happy to know that they got drones that they can send up into the sky like this and they can spray? Oop, there it goes.
My progeny who's coming, my unborn grandchildren and great-grandchildren, to live in this nightmare system these control freaks have created.
What a July 4th video,
huh? Except I want to continue to live to fight them. That's why I don't have fear. I only have fear of myself and my
Make it rain, make it snow.
And I ask you to look in the mirror and ask yourselves, what are you doing in this time of great challenge? What are you doing to unlock minds? Once you unlock a mind, once you unlock somebody, then they can unlock their soul.
Unlock their soul. Rainmaker.
Wow.
Wow, that's some ominous stuff right there to be putting out July 4th. With Alex Jones as your voice. Then on July 4th, they put their chemtrail 4 in the sky, right?
That was a hex.
Yeah, who the hex is casting chemtrail hexes? They are. They literally
Yeah, he took
are.
that. He made that.
Yeah. All right, so this is where he starts doing a little bit of defense of themselves. So this is like a very ungoverned thing. He just works for the government, making it rain. People pay him to make it rain, but he's doing it for the government, and there's no policies, there's no rules. Like, oh yeah, go make it rain. Got General Mike Flynn. So this is like Q people are up in this whole rainmaker thing. This is supposedly all the moist air that was coming up into the country here, but they were supposed to be down here cloud seeding in this area, and they're saying, "Oh no, that what we did didn't affect anything."
And it's him reposting, General Flynn, now Donald Trump. I just want the world to stop from killing itself.
Do you want to play this video?
Yeah, we did have that. It's probably the next link, right?
It might be the next link.
Should have been there somewhere, yeah.
So Teal Foundation announces next Teal Fellow class.
Fellow class, that's a Freemason term. Fellow.
That is a Freemason term.
They got the lots of rainbow symbolism. We all know that Peter Thiel is created the tracking system that everybody's Palantir, which is from the Lord of the Rings movie, the All-Seeing Eye. And now he's teaming up with basically what looks like weather weapon rainmaking technology with this kid. And
yeah, like a 25-year-old is supposed to be the guy that's calling the shots on cloud seeding here in Texas.
Yeah, for the whole country, working specifically with the governments, not just in Texas, also in Colorado to create snowpack for people to snow. And then other areas where there's droughts, Idaho, they were saying, not Florida. They won't let them in Florida, which is weird. And he's up in arms about it. General Flynn, he keeps talking to, and Donald Trump. No cloud seeding took place in the 3rd or 4th in Texas. They did it on the 2nd, and he said it wouldn't have been enough to really have anything to do with that. Well, they shut down the cloud seeding programs, and maybe they were flying their drones over us. For all we know, we really can't trust any of this. We really can't.
And so here they're actually showing these are the flight traces for West Texas Weather Modification, a sub of Weather Modification LLC, and SOAR, Seeding Operations and Atmospheric Research.
We'll get to the videos that you have later. You've got the actual clips of the government planes. It's queued up coming.
So
those are the areas that he operates in mostly with the Texas weather companies. The areas you see in dark are the areas of dry plains where they need the water. So they make it rain there. Those are the counties.
Yeah, so he's saying these aren't rainmaker flights. Conversation transition from cloud seeding caused floods to cloud seeding moistened soil, which worsen natural floods. So that's one of the talks of the way they pre-saturated the ground before they absolutely just let it go loose wild. And so here's the Kerrville area. This was actually a smaller part of the storm.
Next day.
And Marble Falls, Georgetown, Round Rock, this is the part up by us that
much
this
heavier.
did a lot. Much heavier.
That was the next day, yeah. McWest. Metabonk. McWest makes it there. Cloud seeding did not cause the Texas floods. So you know that the game is up. The jig is up. When you see Mick West defending something, oh boy, that's not a good thing for
that's really dirty.
That's
super dirty.
He's the last guy you want to see defending you.
So this is the chat where this A Muse
had him on.
Had him on, and then we were in this call. We got to listen to all of his answers so everybody, if you want to listen to those conversations, there's 2 of them here. Got cut off at one point.
Easy. At AMuse, AMUSE, you can easily get to that link. No problem. Very simple on X.
So this is them, him talking publicly. They were announcing this.
It was like softball. It was like softball damage control.
It was.
Well, and they're rolling it out that, yeah, they're absolutely making it rain. This is not something that's conspiratorial or hidden. It's out in the open public now that the governments of many states are making it rain. And the stuff that they're using, the silver iodide, it's toxic, right? But they say that it's naturally found already in the ground, and they're not measuring soil in areas that they're actually making it rain. But he wants regulatory things put in place, and it's very odd. All the things that he says, those aren't the clips.
So we'll move on to. So Morgan here's got a lowdown on it.
Yeah, this is the go ahead.
The skies over Texas lit up with over 50 U.S. military and NASA aircraft clustered exactly over the zones that flooded days later.
It's quite interesting, the graphic below.
Yeah, several of these aircraft are known flood modeling system. NASA's P-3B Orion terrain and soil mixture, UVSAR's synthetic aperture radar systems, recon planes often used in DHS FEMA drills. Yet despite all this, not a single siren went off, no evacuations, no automated alerts. So either they saw the danger and failed to warn, they ran a predictive drill and covered it up, they were doing a non-related drill, or the whole thing was engineered to justify smart flood infrastructure rollouts already in motion. Here's a list of companies publicly identified in relation to Texas post-flood surveillance and infrastructure rollout. We have Palantir, IBM Weather Company, AccuWeather, AECOM, Jacobs Engineering, AWS, Greengrass, DGI, American Robotics, and Viasat. And here's what they're showing is the flights that were taking place over the 2nd.
So it was the morning of the 4th and the morning of the 5th.
So that was.
There it is.
Reported on here. Some more graphics. We got headlines: flood resilient infrastructure stocks poised for growth amid Texas disaster aftermath. So, would a smaller company run by a 25-year-old make a good scapegoat for all this? That is a great question because
but it doesn't look like they're scapegoating him. They're pushing it out, and we did miss the link for him, but we'll keep going. We'll circle back to it later.
Yeah,
it's coming up after this.
Yeah, we've got him with
Bill Clinton, of course, right?
That's not good.
Not good.
That's very bad.
Very bad. Now, he purposely said that he chose Fort Worth and not Austin for his company, mocking Austin like it was some sort of liberal cesspool, which it is not. Okay, don't believe what the media tells you. There's good people here. Here he is. We'll start it from the top. This is him. This is him fighting for his ability to rainmake in Florida.
My name is Augustus DeRico. I'm the CEO and founder of Rainmaker. We're a cloud seeding company that is enhancing precipitation via advanced radar and also drones for the sake of supplementing water supplies for farms, cities, reservoirs, and wildlife throughout the United States. Our ultimate vision is to end water scarcity, and we've begun that mission already. I'm testifying to not oppose the spirit of this bill, which I think is well-founded, but the current configuration of the bill that I think would impede this mission for ending water scarcity and also for bringing the best-in-class technology to Florida and the rest of the United States. And so the first point that I'd like to make is the difference between solar radiation management and cloud seeding. And so Senator Garcia did bring this up briefly. Solar radiation management is a very new technology. It's not something that's been tested at length. NOAA has done some very initial experiments on its efficacy. It is attempting to reduce the amount of solar radiation that makes it down to the planet by injecting reflective aerosols into the upper atmosphere.
Not a planet.
Once you inject these aerosols, they stay in the stratosphere for
Chemtrails
years.
he's talking about.
They have effects on the entire climate. The data from these experiments, because the experiments have been so few, is limited. And so the implications of them are not something that are well tested yet. Cloud seeding is altogether different. The only similarity is that it has to do with the atmosphere. It has to do with the low atmosphere. It's a mechanism, or it's a tool that either freezes the water in existing clouds or condenses the droplets in existing clouds into bigger snowflakes or bigger droplets such that they fall onto your target watershed or farm. It's a technology that has existed for 80 years in the United States. It was patented by GE in 1946, but it hasn't been viable for a long time because we didn't have the appropriate radar to measure exactly what its effect is. I can tell you definitively that there is not cloud seeding going on in the state of Florida because you would be able to see its effect on radar. So the National Center for Atmospheric Research produced some great results from what's called the SNOWY campaign, where they were able to verify cloud seeding's effect, and they saw tens of millions of gallons of precipitation occur from each of their interventions, and that was very, very easily distinguishable on radar. It also is worth saying that it's local in its scope, and it is very short temporally. So if ever there is cloud seeding going on and you don't like the consequences of it, there are unintended consequences, and it's quite well characterized, so the unintended consequences are minimal. You can stop whenever you like. So that point of differentiation between solar radiation management, which is something that I think the public should scrutinize more heavily, and cloud seeding, is important to make from the top. Then the second point I'd like to make is that, well, it has to do with the safety of cloud seeding, right? Because this has to do with environmental health, particularly pollution. Cloud seeding is conventionally done with a chemical called silver iodide. It's LD50, so its lethal dose is 10 times higher than aspirin. And we're
so now all of a sudden we're talking about a toxic component that's being used in cloud seeding. That's something that the public needs to talk about, right? Because they're spraying it in the air. What effect does that have when it comes down to the ground?
That's pretty much the end of the clip. We just wanted people to get the gist of hearing him. He goes on to, beg that Florida doesn't, lock him out of the state because then other states are going to follow suit.
Yeah, but it's so absurd because Florida is a state that gets rained on almost daily. It is a swamp, and they have absolutely no need of any cloud seeding.
Yeah.
Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas. These are the places that would benefit from cloud seeding.
Phoenix, Arizona, Vegas, the desert, right? Not the
Florida.
This guy's just bringing the doom and destruction, which we've just seen. He's heavily operating here in Texas. So
that'd be like Seattle cloud seeding, right?
Yeah,
or the
Vancouver.
UK.
England. Let's get it over England. We need more rain there. Let's call up your friend. I bet you in England it's raining right now. Seattle is probably just pouring down rain. Let's go cloud seed there. Somebody did bring up, was it cloud seed? There was a terrible flood that happened over in Dubai. And so he denied that, and he's got all the answers. He's very snaky. So he's just a front man for this rainmaking technology.
That he is. So this is connecting it to what's taking place over in North Carolina.
Chapel Hill.
They got hit with one of those 1 in 1,000-year events,
as
right?
well. Yeah, many of them have taken place in the last 3 days. And unbelievable.
So 1,000-year flood has a 0.1% chance of happening any given year. It's pretty low, 0.1%. And like Ron just said, we've had multiple of these. China's had an event like this that I've been seeing in the headlines as well.
Yeah.
He said some interesting things about China's technology regarding the cloud seeding.
They're doing the most.
Something we're going to have to cover. Yeah.
China has the largest extensive program on the weather manipulating than anyone else. And he's actually advocating that the U.S. Starts to boost funding in a major way. They've got college university courses. They're actively cloud seeding the mountains, creating a lot more snow and a lot more water. And that's what he wants to do here in the U.S. And it looks like they've begun.
So here comes some of the conspiracy talk. Let's try a refresh here.
Yeah, it's going to make you do your ad block. So this was a Texas governor she's running for government in Georgia. And she's saying it was fake, right?
Fake. Well, we can tell you right now that it rained.
Yeah.
It rained. It washed it away like really bad. Really bad.
Absolutely.
So fake weather, fake hurricanes, fake flooding, fake. That is misleading because, all right, you could say manipulated weather, manipulated hurricanes, man-made flooding. It's not fake. It's the effects are real.
Absolutely, we're on it. We're trapped here. We're trapped.
Lots of people have lost their lives as a result of this. This is going back to this Rainmaker CEO addressing the conversation. That was at 4 p.m. this afternoon, and he does talk about where they have their contracts and all that kind of stuff. And then we're just sharing a little bit of information about cloud seeding here to help you understand what's taking place. So what is cloud seeding? It's also called precipitation enhancement. Process involves using aircraft to spray clouds with small particles that have a structure like ice, such as silver iodide. The particles cause the moisture in the cloud to condense into water droplets until they are heavy enough to fall as rain. So some plane drops flares. This is something, I guess the flares are toxic, right?
Old technology they've now used in drones, but he still uses planes here in Texas.
They drop it into a cloud region. The silver iodide helps form ice nuclei that can fall as rain or snow and steal moisture from large hail particles. And some operations shoot silver iodide flares into clouds from the ground, shoot them up.
Yeah.
Some planes release silver iodide from flares into an updraft.
And salt.
Yeah, and then rain, snow, or small hail. Ice crystals fall, coming down as rain, snow, or small hail particles, depending on the conditions.
Yeah, and we've seen so many crazy tornadoes, hurricanes. We've seen stuff that's just starting to get just absolutely insane. And it's biblical. And so the scriptures prophesied it because they knew that man was going to do this. That was basically that link. It knew the scriptures foresaw all these things taking place. Whenever man tries to manipulate things, they get it wrong. They get it horribly wrong.
So now they're coming out and saying that they've been doing this. And they've been doing this for a while. So map of rain enhancement projects in Texas. This is what they say is taking place. And
they're admitting it.
All of this is outside of the area that was hit. So this region right here is the one where Kerrville hit, and then we're up here to the north where we got hit the next day.
Yeah, they didn't have anything. They're not in those areas. They're saying.
the county that we're in. Everybody, the attention is on Kerrville, Travis County. 7 dead and 10 missing was this report in the local news not that long ago. This right here, I want to show everybody. This is called ATX Floods, a website that you can go to that shows all the areas where the roads are blocked due to floods. And this area down here, this is down in the Kerrville
That's
area.
where all the media attention. So the president has, we just found out today, we didn't have time to get all the clips. They've sent relief funds to this area down here, but up where we are, this is what they've sent all the money there. But look at the disaster that happened where we are. Look at it up here. What about all of this? Nobody is talking about all this, and this is our area, and this is why we're here live tonight doing this.
Yeah, so if we zoom down here, you're going to see this is our neighborhood right here.
Everyone's trapped.
Everyone's trapped. Roads are washed out. If you go around Lago Vista and you try to keep heading out towards Marble Falls, the roads are completely washed out. So the big problem in our area was Big Sandy Creek, and that's what goes past our house and comes out in Jonestown right here. And there's 2 different watersheds. So this side shed this way, and then this green area shed through this area to the lake over here and washed all this out. But when we back up, you can see these are all the areas that have flood issues where the roads are closed.
Yep. And we're not hearing about these on the media. They're not sending relief to these towns as well. Places in Tyler, over here in Marble Falls, over on the right there's Pflugerville north of. All these places, we're all in need of serious help. Some people have no food. It's crazy.
Yeah, so we did hear somebody say that their target that they hit was the Balcones National Wildlife Refuge, which is right here. So this is the watershed that got us.
Yeah.
This is it right here. So for people that aren't familiar with Texas and the way things work here, each one of these strips right here are considered this is LCRA, so Lower Colorado River Association. So it's an authority. They have their own police, and they control the water all the way from the beginning of the Colorado River down to where it goes into the Gulf down here. Now we're in this area right here where you see these numbers right here, 48,000, 49,000. This is the Big Sandy Creek watershed, and this is where their gauge broke. So they had a stream flow of 48,000 cubic feet per second in a dry creek bed.
Insane.
And it broke when the gauge hit 21 feet. This one over here had a cubic flow of 49,970. River stage hit 26 feet here. So,
and these are all along this river are the dams. They're rivers, and they call them lakes here in the south because they don't have the same types of waters that the north has. And this is where they create all of their power. This is where everybody gets their water. They purify it, they drink it, it fills all of the aquifers. So we're seeing an effort here. So it's the LCRA that works with the rainmaking technology in other parts of the state, right?
Yeah, so we have lakes that they use as reservoirs that will change in height. Then they have other fixed level lakes. And so Buchanan at the head of the system right here was very, very low. Lake Travis, where we're at, was very, very low. And now because of what's happened, all of this is filled back up pretty much. There's a little bit left to go in Lake Travis, but chances are their whole system here is going to be recharged and full again. Now this system does not take into account what took place in Kerrville. This is a totally different system. From this line here to this line here, all of this water is feeding into the Colorado. So what happened in Kerrville did not feed into our area. What it feeds into is this right here called Canyon Lake, which is a lake that was almost near dry, and customers were at the point of almost being cut off from having drinking water at their homes.
It was empty.
And so their system right here, if we go out to the beginning of it, you can see here's Kerrville. This is the Guadalupe Basin, Guadalupe Blanco River Authority. It's out here to the west of Kerrville. I want to show everybody where the Mystic Camp was. If you go out to the actual headwaters out here, you will see the South Fork Guadalupe River. And this right here is where Camp Mystic is. So what happened is they got dumped on just in this small little area right here. You can see that there's a ridge line right here. So the water poured down this direction. It came from this direction. And this South Fork had a swell where it hit like 26 feet, where it's just a wall of water that washed through and wiped out the girls' camp right in this area.
Right there.
And then this whole headwaters right here, it came together in a fork where it hit the Guadalupe, and it just went as a wall of water through Kerrville. But once the system absorbed that flow, it followed the Guadalupe until it got to Canyon Lake. And now all of a sudden Canyon Lake is almost full again, getting close. So they were able to recharge with those two storms, the LCRA, which we're in, and the Guadalupe Blanco River system in one shot.
So what we're showing here, what Jason's got on screen, is when you want to understand a situation that happens that doesn't seem to make sense, if you look at who benefits, generally you can come up with a pretty good estimation as to why and what took place. Again, we leave it up to you, the audience member, to do your own research, to do your own investigations. What we've come to see is that through this rainmaking technology, he might be a front man that they use just to have a clean guy saying, no, we didn't have anything to do with this. We shut down on the second. And it looks like the government fired up their part of this, and they were the ones who filled these different places. And again, this is for people to drink. This is for people for power. There's so many reasons why they fill these river systems. And we can see that they have no problem with doing this to take in lives, right? They clearly will do anything they want. As you can see, there's the Y. You've got the Birmingham. Is it the
Bingham Creek.
That's our creek. And then the Sandy Creek.
This is Sandy Creek. They come together right at this Y is where we're showing everybody.
We're right on that hill there.
Our bridge and the other bridge right here. This is where our devastation was, and everybody that was down along this basin all the way to Lake Travis.
Yeah.
They were in a very, very bad situation. But when you look here, such a small area to actually collect the rainwater that went past our place, because here's a ridge line. This is all ridge line. So it was just this area right in here that collected the water.
All that water
had a 20+ foot rise right here, plus this water. And it was massive. It was absolutely massive.
And there's definitely a reason why that nobody's tuned in. There's nobody in the chat. There's nobody sharing this content. We are absolutely turned off. What we did tonight, what Jason has done here, is laid out the precise plans, the reasons for, the evidence, the radar, the companies behind the situations. And we've shown from beginning to end here, and we're literally trapped in this. on the ground, and nobody's finding out, no one's getting the answers, no one's starting to see, so that you can have your voice heard. This is an injustice. Do people think that it's okay to lose lives so that certain people can have drinking water? Like maybe we would have had to have our water tower have water shipped in, and maybe our water bill might have been a bit higher. Would that have been acceptable? Yes. I would have rather had the choice to say, yes, let's pay a bit more to have our water than to have these people lose their lives, to have these houses gone. We're clearly laying out the reasons. You've shown it here, Jason.
Well, in this right here is the spot where we got 20.5 inches of rain. They talk about 15 inches of rain, and that's a lot, but 20.5 in the same amount of time, centered right here, that's the reason why we ran into the issues we did.
It makes me a bit mad.
Yeah, so this is the Canyon Lake. You can see that they've picked up a lot of volume here. They don't have that much farther to go to get to what they would consider to be a full pool. So there's a lot of, to them, upside to having their lakes refilled. I want to go back here. So I asked ChatGPT, has Texas had a cloud seeding permit active in the last 7 days? And it says, yes, Texas currently has active cloud seeding permits within the last 7 days. According to a post from 2 days ago on X, formerly Twitter, a permit for rain enhancement in South Texas runs from March through to November 2025, held by a group called Rainmaker and confirmed by NOAA Records. Right, that's what is dropping today, everybody. Rainmaker. Texas generally operates cloud seeding programs year-round or seasonally, April through October, under multi-year permits lasting up to 4 years. That means there has been an active permit in the past week, and operations could have been ongoing, especially if weather conditions were suitable.
I'd asked if you wanted to go deeper. You can scroll down. Is that the end of that? Did it go deeper?
Yeah, I asked
continue,
another
please, move on.
question.
Yeah,
it wasn't a good one.
it's okay.
It
does its best.
Yeah. So then there's Kerrville. There's the talk of how they want this $175 million gas power plant, and the area that they wanted to go just sort of got a clean slate.
Yeah,
just got
wiped out.
Wiped out. Start.
Oh, wow. Gee, that's
That was
interesting.
easy.
Yeah, just clear that land out for us. We didn't even have to use a single bulldozer, huh? I wonder if that would be worth paying Rainmaker to come and give us a quick flood.
This was a guy from our neighborhood on X that was documenting what was taking place in our neighborhood. This is our neighborhood here.
No FEMA.
He had the interview with the guy whose house he house surfed it down to this area down here.
Yeah, no
but
help.
They made it.
No help. There's been no help for us. There's been no FEMA. We're trapped on Round Mountain. We barely even get 20 people to watch here as we break it down live from the ground here on YouTube. It's incredible. And we hope that we get the roads open. If not, we're going to have to get the neighbors skid steer. Jason's going to be down there and he's going to make us a road. That's what's coming next if we have to.
Yeah. So let's talk about,
I don't want,
let's talk about this stuff a little bit.
Lightly. I don't want to scare people too much.
All right. So silver iodide compound is a bright yellow solid, but samples almost always contain impurities of metallic silver that could give a gray coloration. It's photosensitive. It's used in photography. The property is exploited in silver-based photography. Silver iodide is also used as an antiseptic and in cloud seeding. Right?
It's toxic. It disrupts the reproductive organs. It destroys certain gastrointestinal issues. It can cause problems with respiratory illnesses. Do you have it? Yeah, that's
So this is the way they do it. They use these little Cessnas and they put these little things alongside it equipped with silver iodide generator for cloud seeding.
and salt.
And it's the process known as heterogeneous nucleation.
Yeah.
Now, this is interesting. Pay attention to this, everybody. Approximately 50,000 kilograms are used for cloud seeding annually. Each seeding experiment consuming 10 to 50 grams. So
Not much.
That tells you how often they're doing it, right?
A lot. Yeah. 50,000 divided by, 50 grams.
50,000 kilograms, right? That's 1,000 grams, right?
And everybody's just talking about chemtrails, which never falls down, which stays up in the sky. And sure, it gets a little bit cloudy, but this stuff here actually falls down to the ground. Yeah, do the
So
math.
50,000.
50,000 divided
times
by
1,000 because this is kilograms,
yeah, you're right.
right?
Yep. Sorry. You're better at math.
50 million grams.
And divide that by 365.
Well,
how much per day?
They say 10 to 50 grams.
Okay,
so that's 40 different. So we'll say the average is 30 grams that they use each time. So divided by 30. That means they have 1,666,666 operations where they cloud seed per year.
Wow. Divide that by 365, please. Per day, 4,566
operations.
Clouds are seeded to rain. So the rain might have been shut off a long time ago, ladies and gentlemen.
It could have been.
And they've been actively keeping
Elijah in it, right?
Yeah. This is incredible. Like I said, everybody, it's tuned in right now. I don't know how you found us, but you did. We're showing evidence again. Jason's put forth this whole entire presentation showing what would be the benefits, who is asking to have these aquifers and these lakes and everything filled up, and at what cost. At what cost?
Look at the labeling here.
Yeah.
The pictogram is, let's make this. Is it not gonna zoom?
Wow.
It is a picture of a dead tree and a dead fish.
Get out of here.
Environmental hazard.
Yeah, it sure is. Can't believe
So
it.
we don't want to over toxify everybody, but go ahead and on your own type in silver iodide health effects and go ahead and see the different things that they say this stuff can do.
Evil.
Right?
Evil.
We don't want it sprayed on us.
No. But we're okay, everybody. So we do have good news. There are miracles. The creator is always working. He's always fighting back, and he's always got a plan. So don't fear. This isn't about fear. Let's do something friendly here as we round it out. Unless you've got some more links. I think we're pretty good.
Oh, I think I've got, do I have any more?
I think you exhausted your tabs
I might have.
fully.
No, here's one. I want to show everybody this one.
Yeah, there we are, 22.50.
I've been saying 21.5.
Ah, yes, this is that last link.
Yeah, but so this dot right here, that's us. 22.5 inches. I was quoting it incorrectly. It says, I've had a lot of folks reach out, so I just wanted to let everyone know that my family members in the Leander Sandy Creek area are safe. We're incredibly grateful for that. Fortunately, the flooding has caused serious damage. They will be without water for a while. Still, the bridges into the neighborhood have been condemned or damaged and unusable, but that pales in comparison to the grief and trauma some friends and neighbors are facing while still searching for their loved ones.
Yeah.
So
That's sad.
this is freak show right here.
It looks like Mason, another town over there, got it this similar. There's two spots right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Unbelievable.
they blasted us. They blasted us. I think
Yeah, this is the highest at
they
22.
wanted to keep us locked in at home so that we would cover this, right? Otherwise, we could have been off at work doing something.
And mock us. Make sure that nobody gets to see it. But hey, we did our best. We brought you some new music. We got some Goldsmiths sending us the tunes. We sorted through them. We got lots of links being sent in. And again, it's all about our attitude. You know, we're not fearful. We're ready for this great tribulation. This is we've been waiting for 6,000 years for this. We're not afraid. We're ready. We're looking forward to it. And we want you to be lifted up by this information too. Knowing the truth is the most important part of this reality.
Who can say they almost got 2 feet of rain in a day?
Yeah. Overnight. It was like 5 hours. It was big, 4 hours. Yeah. We got through it. Whew. We know a thing or two about the water.
Yeah. So we'll be following this whole cloud seeding narrative. And my guess is we're going to be seeing a bunch more of it. So if you live in a low creek type area, head on a swivel from here on out, everybody. Because
think about maybe getting to higher ground for
they can blast you out of the canyons with a 20-foot wall of water.
Yeah, just crazy.
All right, was there anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's it.
All right, well, where's the only place people are going to get this content, brother?
Only on the Yahawashai News Networks.
Another day in paradise, ride around on your old fixed gear. I need laser correction, I can't see your intentions, clear as mud. It's a strange kind of love. Backflip on the pavement, needing your attention. Did you spot me when you passed me on the way home? Looking like an angel, but something in your eye was not shining. Why you being shy? I'm looking for an angle to shower you like April. But no pressure, cause PSI, I think I gave a little bit TMI. Is my seat on that yellow bike, yellow bike, yellow bike. Can I ride with you on your yellow bike? She said there's no room, take a hike. I guess I'll never know what it feels like on your yellow bike. Nearly fell right into your half pipe. Forever pedestrian, killing time. I guess I'll never know what it feels like. But while you're living off L'Oreal, it's only been since Thursday. You were in the worst place. Try prioritize your health. Overdose on Earl Grey, smelling like an ashtray, punching more holes in your belt. When you pass me on the way home, looking like an angel, but something in your eye was not shining. Why you being shy? I'm looking for an angle to shower you like April. And no pressure, cause PSI, I think I gave a little bit TMI. Is my seat on that yellow bike, yellow bike, yellow bike. Can I ride with you on your yellow bike? She said there's no room, take a hike. I guess I'll never know what it feels like on your yellow bike. Really fell right into your half pipe. Forever pedestrian, killing time. I guess I'll never know what it feels like on your yellow bike.